Hello everybody, this is vinnieart and Mella, and I thought I would do like a part 2 to how to draw the human back. This time I think we're going to focus on the female form and do a slightly different pose. So yeah, just bear in mind with me while I get a figure roughed out. So if we're dealing with females and their form, you have more of an hourglass kind of shape, and we'll go from that point, and I'll start building up more, just so you guys know. So I'll probably stop it around this area, and we'll focus back on the top. So maybe this figure will be sitting down or something. So we'll just put a hint of the legs in the foreground, whatever. Again, right now I'm just thinking about the body shape and just kind of getting the basics down for you, and then we'll break it down a little bit further. So much like the male form, again, we have the same muscles in the back. It's obviously on females they're a little bit smaller because they're not as developed or as defined. Although there are some bodybuilders and stuff where they get into some pretty good shape. But yeah, so remember we have like that diamond shape that is by like the trap area. So we'll just get into the neck there. And again, much like the other form, these go on upward kind of shape. And remember, we have the shoulder blades. They are kind of like these triangular type deals that we got in here. But because we have the muscles that are on top of them and how it interacts with one another, you don't see all of it. Just got to keep that in mind. And we'll break it down with the shoulders again too, and how the muscles kind of pull. So remember, we have the three parts to the shoulder muscle, and from the back view you're only going to be seeing two of those muscles. So the middle one, because remember, it's, if we're going to look directly from the side, this is the shape of the shoulder. Remember, the top is like a pumpkin, and then it goes into like a point, and then obviously like the arms come down. We'll do tricep, and the tricep is in two parts essentially. You get that muscle on the inner part of it's in between the tricep area, which usually gets into like that kind of U shape, and then here's the elbow. Bicep is long. Again, this is just a really quick, rough, so you guys can get a little bit more of an understanding of what I'm talking about. And obviously, again, it's a smaller frame, a smaller person, so you just make the muscles a little bit smaller. Because remember, it's all coming from or on top of the skeletal system. So things are going to be a little bit different. And again, you could just shape things. I normally don't go into this kind of detail when I'm actually rendering out a piece and drawing it, unless the character has to be super ripped, and there really isn't a major occasion for that. or that I've been doing anyway. So, but yeah, it's always good to do these kind of studies, so you know what's right and what's wrong. It could also help shape the arm a little bit better too if you're having some difficulties. So that's why it's good to know proper anatomy. Is that muscle from the forearm? And again, we're just you guys get a better idea of how it all kind of connects and kind of works. So we're going to the back, so we're just seeing this kind of area here, over there. But again, you know what I'm kind of doing. So anyway, yeah, it goes from there, and again, into, because her arm's a little bit more to her side, so it'll go into the tricep, into the arms, and all that kind of deal. And the elbows are like, they usually fall about, say, midway, somewhere down here. So it's also something to keep in mind. Zoom up a little bit more. So I can see what the hell I'm doing here. And remember, we do have the collarbone that kind of pops up, depending, again, how we're going to be doing the pose. So maybe the left arm's going to be a little bit more in front, so I can give you a better view of the back. So. And again, I am still going to be doing another masterclass live session where I'll break down things live for you guys. If you got questions, you go right from the chat and ask me. I still want to do those. Last week I didn't because I got busy with some other work I had to do. But yeah, maybe I'll incorporate how to draw the female and a little bit more in depth with the back and those kind of muscles on the next live one. Which if it's not today, it'll probably be tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to do another one because I know it's been a minute. But yeah, so let's just kind of get into this a little bit more. And again, with the back muscles, remember we have the big back muscles that give you kind of like those wings, and they go in that kind of direction. I'm sort of just shaping things right now because again, I don't normally do drawing straight from the computer. I've been doing them for these classes and that kind of thing. I like to get a better view of my overall drawing. I don't want to keep backing up and zooming back in, so I'll just kind of keep it a little bit closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. But again, yeah, we could get into these kind of back muscles. They're unique on how they work and how they operate. Because again, we have the collarbone that you it's from the back and the front, you can kind of see it. And it is connected, like the traps are connected to that, and then it goes to the upper back. And then again, like I said, we have the shoulder muscles. Everything kind of pulls from there, and it goes straight into the shoulder blades. And like I said, they have their own kind of unique shape to them, and it's almost like they create like a little triangle in the back as well. It's very interesting because again, they're sort of like triangles, and then they create triangles with the other muscles. Like I said, that's why the backs are usually kind of tricky. And then we have the actual shoulder blades that there are, and again, depending on how you're moving and how ripped the person is, there are these muscles that kind of, they're in a couple of parts from the, this might be a little too advanced to get into that, but just remember, you got to keep kind of like that shape is in here. That you can't forget that the shoulder blades are there, and they're underneath the muscle. So when depending on how we're moving, if we are moving forward or back or up or down or shrugging our shoulders, all those muscles are going to interact with one another. So and again, everything is connected. Everything kind of pulls from certain areas. And that's why the body kind of distorts when you're doing different poses. What's getting squished, what's getting pulled. It's very interesting how it all kind of works. But like I said, do some research on your own as well. Aside from kind of what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of giving you the basics and the basic shapes, because we never really have to draw anything that super ripped. Although, like I said, it's good to have that knowledge. So if you do have to, or for whatever reason, you're going to kind of know what you're doing. And yeah. So and again, like these kind of muscles, because we're dealing with women as well, there are the hip muscles that are in there, and you got to remember that the pelvis, like the bone, is down here. And everything kind of pulls from that area. So like you are gonna have like these longer muscles kind of coming up from there, and they kind of start wrapping around to get to the side abs and all that. Like I said, do a lot of your own research, but because again we have skin that's on top of everything. And how we're twisting, how we're moving, it all interacts in different ways. So it's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, again, I hope I'm not getting too confusing with some of this stuff. Because like I said, maybe on the live video, maybe I'll do the color on top of this again to give you guys a little bit of again a better understanding of how the muscles kind of work. But I kind of do it in groupings. So much like the male figure that you see here, that's why I did them kind of in colors. So we could break down like that shoulder blade area, the wings, the traps, the upper back, that kind of deal, and kind of how it all works in with the body and with the form that we're kind of messing around with. But yeah, it's like I said, it gets a little bit tricky from time to time, but do your practice, mess around, and you'll get better. But and again, I don't want to get too much into like the big ripped areas and everything that's in there in structure, because we got to remember too that we have fat deposits in certain areas. So like the female form, it is going to have, softer areas where the hips are. Okay, even if you're drawing superheroes, like you want to have a sexiness to them. Like if we're talking about old school She-Hulk, she has more of like an athletic build, but you typically when she was drawn, she'd have nice sexy hips, and then a nice muscular round bottom, and it's kind of like what we're used to, and because in real life that's how it pretty much is. No one gets super shredded unless they're like a professional runner, in which case they have a very unique kind of body shape, which is again totally different than everything else that we're talking about. But sorry, I know I'm known for drawing females really well, so I just got to make sure that I get your favorite part down, and you guys are happy viewing that if you're watching this video. But anyway, yeah, so here we have the indentation in the back. But yeah, you guys have seen my other videos anyway, and I'll probably attach it to this one on how to draw the female butt and hip area, so you'll get a better understanding of that again. But again, we're talking about the back, and mostly like the upper back and kind of all the muscles that are in there. And again, depending on if you're looking for superheroes, if you're looking for people that are a little bit more natural in their pose and that kind of deal, you're gonna be messing around with all this stuff. Whether some muscles a little bit bigger than others and all that jazz. So I hope this kind of makes more sense. Like I said, when I do the live stream, I'll probably break it down a little bit better, and we could get into drawing with skin on instead of doing these kind of really big breakdowns for that shredded look. But again, this is just kind of more of an understanding on how form works, how the body works, that kind of deal. And again, like I said, if the arms are up, or rather if they're down to the side, all that stuff changes and moves. Like you'd see in the male form, that the shoulder blade area, it's more outward and wide. That's why, like the pose that I have here, it is kind of on that kind of wider area. So like we're looking at this kind of, again, it's sort of like a triangle shape, and it's kind of what it is underneath. But again, then you have all like the little muscles that pull from there, and those are the kind of things that we're talking about. There's like 3 groupings in there, but or like that stand out in a really big way. But again, I hope this kind of helps. We're going to be doing more of these classes, and we'll get into other stuff too, legs, hands, feet, and whatnot. But yeah, so once again, I'm on the wrong layer, aren't I? Yep. Well, it happens. Anyway, I hope you guys do enjoy these lessons. Like I said, I'm going to keep them coming. But remember too, I also have a couple of different campaigns running right now. My newest campaign is Shadow of the Kraken. That's my pirate book, which again, with how I'm doing this, I can't really pull up anything to show you guys the trailer, but I will put it in the description. So if you're unfamiliar with it, please go check it out. I have like less than a week left on it. I am busting my ass working really hard on getting things done. And it's some of the best work I've done to date. So we're gonna keep the level really high on all of this, because again, you guys deserve the quality, and that's what I'm kind of here for. So like I said, guys, remember, be kind to one another, but kick ass while you create. We're gonna be back with more streams. Again, I might do it today, I might do it tomorrow, but I am gonna do another live stream breakdown, and we'll kind of play more with the female form, since you guys seem to enjoy that a lot. Yeah, we'll get into poses and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so thank you everybody. Remember, hit like, subscribe, get the word out that I'm making more of these videos, and yeah, get ready to learn some more cool stuff on how to draw comics, the Vinnie way, the Mella art way. But again, thanks guys, and have a great day. Bye.